If you're a new wedding planner and you are wondering how the heck is everybody booking their clients and you have no idea where to start, then this video is for you. Wedding planning has totally changed and the way we find our clients is completely different now. So if you're trying to book a client in 2026, stay tuned. I'm walking you through all the steps and how it's different than before. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabby. I've been a wedding planner for 13 plus years, and I'm here to share my highs, the lows of wedding planning. I am still wedding planning myself in my own business, but I'm also here on YouTube to teach you kind of what not to do and also things that I'm learning along the way. So I take you behind the scenes on some of my weddings. I also do educational videos like this. So if you're not already subscribed, now's a good time to hit that little notification bell, subscribe, and give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to book clients in 2026. Okay, you've maybe heard me talk about this before, but it is going to be very important that you get clear on exactly who you want to serve in the wedding industry. So what I mean by that is, who are your clients? Get very specific. Are you in a small rural town and you want to do farm style weddings? Are you in the big city and you are like thrilled about cathedrals? You've got to kind of figure out who your ideal client is, and because all of your marketing is going to be geared towards that ideal client. And this matters more than ever in 2026 because the couples that are engaged right now or getting engaged right now are Gen Z. This group of couples is making decisions very differently than millennials were. Gen Z couples aren't just asking like, are you good at their job? They actually want to know, do I like your vibe? Do I trust you from what I see online? Does it feel like you're someone that I actually want to spend the whole wedding weekend with? The personality of the business owners now is really important. And we'll dive into a little bit more social media and marketing in just a sec. So when I say get clear on who you want to serve, what I mean by that is like, what kind of people do you want to work with? What energy are you bringing into a wedding? Are you going to be a very calm person and so your clients are very laid back and they just want to go with the flow? Or are you working with like really high energy party animals that you also have to match that energy to some extent? What values matter to you? For example, we do LGBTQ weddings and I really believe that all love is love. And I want to make that clear on my website. So I make sure to find images that they associate with and that they see themselves in on my website. And how do you want those couples to feel when they interact with you? Like, your website is going to say a lot of that. Your social media presence is going to do a lot of that. Gen Z is finding a lot of their vendors still on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, Google searches, of course, and then they do love referrals. So word of mouth is really great. But obviously, if you're just getting started, you're not going to have a ton of referral opportunities if you haven't done weddings before. But they are searching across all of these platforms, and they're not just looking at one post. They're looking for consistency, for personality. They're looking for you specifically. How are you acting online is what they hope to see when you're with them in person on their wedding day. So one thing that I've actually implemented this year that's helped me, because I will be honest, being on all of those platforms like was very, very overwhelming to me. So what I started to do was implementing this app called repurpose.io. This video is not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor it, Repurpose, I would love to work with you guys because I use this app every day. I basically go and add a workflow. So essentially this tool lets you repurpose your content without watermarks. It automatically pushes your videos to YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, and I think other platforms, but those are the three that I'm using right now. It also can go back in old videos that you've previously posted and repost those. So that's been really awesome because for some time, I would just wanted to be consistent on all those platforms. And I was like, you know what? Go ahead, go and get all my existing reels that I posted and move those over to YouTube Shorts and to TikTok. And it actually did pretty good. I gained some followers on all of those platforms. It just kept my accounts more active. It's really getting my name out there a little bit more, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. And honestly, Gen Z expects to see you in multiple places, but they don't expect you to be exhausted. So I think it's pretty clear that I am not a full-time content creator. I do run a wedding planning business. And so for me, a tool like this is super, super helpful. Okay, the next step is you're gonna wanna make sure that you are polishing your online presence. What I mean by that is you're not just making it look pretty. You need to make sure that couples can actually find you. And I think a big mistake that new planners make is that they put up this beautiful website or they start creating beautiful posts on social media, but there's no way to know what they do or who they are. There's maybe not a lot of personality, but I'm finding more and more that I'm attracted to grids that are a little more real time, and a little less polished. And I imagine that couples are looking for the same thing. So if you think about it, people want real, raw moments captured on their cell phones. And I think that's fair to say that they're gonna want the same thing from their vendors. They wanna see the behind the scenes of what we do. They wanna see our personalities. It goes back to the first step of how Gen Z wants us to show up. So your website, your Instagram bio, and your contact page should easily say a few things. Okay, what you do, who you serve, which you just figured out, where you're located, and please, I beg you, put an email address. Don't have everyone go to your contact form. Why? Because as a wedding planner, I'm often reaching out to vendors on behalf of my couples. And sometimes I just have questions for them like, hey, are you needing an extension cord for the DJ booth? My client already booked you and I just need an email address on their website. So just make sure that you're adding that. It can be very simple. Your website can be a one page. I know you don't have a lot of work to showcase yet, but we'll get there. Other titles and kind of keywords to think about on your website could be wedding planner in, enter your city. So wedding planner in Nashville. Location-based keywords are very, very important. And I know this because Sarah Dunn from Sarah Does SEO is the absolute queen of wedding SEO. She only focuses on wedding pros specifically and does their SEO. Anything that she sells, I buy. And any words that she says, I implement. And it is timeless content. So recently she's been teaching us how to show up in ChatGPT, which is now being used as a huge resource for searching for wedding vendors specifically, but obviously restaurants and all that kind of stuff. And all that to say, every so often, Sarah does a free training called Cocktails and Keywords. And this video will be live before that. So I wanna make sure you sign up. It's free. It's a mini course, putting January 5th or January 6th. She's doing two. It's gonna be live. She answers questions. She teaches us basically what is going to trend in 2026 in the sense of keywords and things that people are searching. And this is very important that we all go. I hope to see you there. Please find me in the chat because I will be there. I think I'm gonna go on January 5th. I might go again on January 6th for that matter. And if you're catching this after that date, there may be a replay. I'm putting the link in the description below. So if there's a way to get you the replay, send me a message. I will work very hard to find you that link because I think it's really important that we all take a look at that. Okay, so proper keywords, optimizing your website, using those keywords also on Instagram because people are searching there too. And then having it on your website helps you get found, of course, in Google searches, but also in ChatGPT searches that we just talked about. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is learn how inquiries really work. I'm giving you a little sneak peek of what's to come here. I am super excited because in the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a video with my friend Lindsay from the Abundance Group. She's a sales inquiry coach with the Abundance Group. If you've heard me talk about the Abundance Group, I'm obsessed. It's the mastermind that I'm in. I pay monthly to be in this mastermind and it's a super supportive group. Lindsay is the queen of sales call. This girl does something like 12 to 15 calls a day and she books most of them. And I am not the queen of sales call. And I often ask Lindsay to please record herself on sales calls so that I can kind of hear how she's going through the flow of it. And these are 15-minute calls. She's got to get through these fast. So I've asked her if I can record a video with one of her sales calls and analyze it. And I want to give that to you guys. So stay tuned for that. This is a great reminder to subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on because you will get notified when all of my videos are out. And this one I am very, very excited for. So I'm going to leave it at that for that step. But basically you're going to need to learn how to run your inquiry calls. And this next video, when I get around to doing that with Lindsay, is going to be a really, really helpful video for you. Okay, next step, step 4, put yourself in rooms with other wedding pros. I talked about how I'm joining a few more networking groups. You know, I'm part of the Nashville Wedding Planners group. That community has been huge for me. It gives me access to local vendors. It gives us clout a little bit. I can walk into a hotel and say, oh, I'm with the Nashville Wedding Planners group. I'd love to check out your banquet space or whatever the case may be. But I, this year, have felt the need to level up just a little bit. And I've hesitated for years about joining WIPA, that's the Wedding Industry Professional Association, because it felt a little stuffy early on. And perhaps that was the case way back when it started. Now I realize I know everybody in the group. I'm super excited to be surrounded by them. So I'm there now. I'm gonna be joining in 2026. I wanna be around more high-end planners. I wanna be around more designers. I think that's something that I really need to work on is elevate my design. I'm really good at the experience experience, but sometimes I feel like my design needs to be honed in a little bit. So I'm excited for that. I wanna get access to better venues, and I wanna get like good vendors that I really respect and that respect my time and communication. You know how communication is so important to me. So you do not have to sign up for a $400 membership to join an organization, but I want you to put yourself out there more. My second client that I ever booked, my first one was a friend. My second one, I went to a networking event back in California. Oh, it was a Young Professionals Association, which I was co-leading with somebody else. I went on stage, I introduced myself, welcome all the women, and I said, I'm a wedding planner. And you guys, I hadn't planned a wedding yet. I was really nervous, but I was like, you know what? Who cares? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna believe it. And sure enough, one of the girls at this event came up to me and said, I'm looking for a wedding planner. And she was my very first non-friend client. And I was like, you know what? Fake it till you make it. And eventually, I mean, look, we started doing weddings full time. Okay, this is a very simple step, but I want you to make sure that you are following up and showing up consistently. So I think that a lot of new planners are a little bit scared to put themselves out there, completely understand, but don't just send one cold email asking another planner to assist them or to meet for coffee. Keep going a little bit. Like if you really admire this person, don't send the same generic email to everybody. And there might be, if you're asking to pick their brain, typically there is a hourly fee with that, which I fully respect. So be open to paying that. If you really do want to learn from them, be open to paying that fee, but follow up and show up consistently. I've had some people reach out to me and then they wanted to assist, and the day came where I offered them an assisting thing and they went MIA. Be true to your word in that sense. Respond pretty quickly. I think we are in a time, especially during engagement season, things move fast. And I have booked clients solely on the fact that I was the first to respond. So while that's not my ideal client, communication kind of vibe, I respect that if I am quick to respond, the package matches what they need, I might be the winner. So follow up and show up consistently. Last but not least, set up a few automations that basically make you look legit. And what I mean by that is before you're even ready to book your first client, start thinking about what's the process you're gonna take them through once they sign that contract, or how are they gonna sign that contract? Back up. Do you have a contract? I love the legal page. I will drop her info in my description. Paige is a lawyer. She drafts all sorts of wedding contract for all types of different situations, and she gives you the bare bones. You plug and play, super easy. I highly recommend you get that. But my point about the automations is once you send out that contract, how are you sending it out and how are you collecting payment? For example, I use rock, paper, coin. I love this platform because it is simple. You literally enter your template for your contract that you already got from the legal page. You put it in, it will auto-populate the fields for you. You send it, it will prompt you for an invoice. You plug in your invoice numbers, you send that out to the client, and it will continue to remind the client about upcoming payments. It's literally set it and forget it. So these are small automations that I would say are important to have ready to go when you start bringing those new clients in. I think it's not as exciting when I have to be the one to remind the client that our payment's coming up. I'd rather a robot remind them. It almost feels like it's my accounting company reminding them, and I can be the fun planner where we talk about design and flow and all these fun things about their wedding. Whew, okay, you guys know I love to chat about this stuff. I am super excited for you to be a wedding planner in 2026. Truly, you will never hear me say that there are too many wedding planners out there. I do think there are some wedding planners that are not set up correctly or maybe hit the ground running without enough experience. And I always encourage people to intern, to work for caterers, work for rental companies, florists, assist wedding planners, get as much of that as you can while simultaneously attracting your own clients if you want. You don't have to necessarily wait. I would love for a full year of really immersing yourself in it and then getting your own clients. If you have some friends that want you to throw them an engagement party, that's a great opportunity for you to kind of learn the timeline of things and a little bit of decor and design, that kind of stuff. So don't be afraid to do it all at once. I'm really excited for you. As always, thank you so much for being here. And guys, if you want more insider information, because I am really focusing on YouTube in 2026 and specifically my members. Members, you guys are getting top priority. We are going to do some lives together. We are hopefully going to do more of these inquiry call sessions. I will do a public video, but I want to do more members only videos so we can really work on your sales calls together, and offering one-on-one sessions. So if you do want to pick my brain, that is available to you as a member. There is a cost associated. You could do a 30-minute or you can do 1 hour. But regardless, I just want to keep the membership. Like, you guys are the VIPs and I am so grateful for you. And I want to make sure you get everything that you want and you learn everything that you need to learn this year. So as always, thanks so much for being here. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.